So we want to talk about what's actually going on if you find yourself playing catch up with your business. I'm speaking directly to the entrepreneur who is already having clients in the door. You already know your thing, your work works, you're getting results for your client. But it still feels like on Sunday or on Friday, you reflect on your week and you still feel like you're behind. Right. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can see what's really happening. We're going to be really shifting towards clarity so you can see what's actually happening, and we're going to be diagnosing the challenge, right? This is going to be kind of diagnostic conversation. Hello, my name is Sharon Sama Odikba. I support my clients to elevate their CEO status so they can scale to multiple six-figure wealth without being plugged in 24/7. And we leverage elevated leadership, realignment of strategy, and of course, my love systems. All right, so let's start with the eating pattern catch-up cycle. There's so many nuances to this that we can talk about, right? That catch-up cycle, that feeling of I'm doing a lot, right? I'm getting the clients in the door, my business is moving, revenue is coming in, but on Friday I still feel like I have been playing catch up all week long. Like, what is the problem? Let's talk about that. Firstly, when you're always catching up, you're not out of time, you're actually out of clarity. And I know clarity is a word that gets like tossed all around, right? Most entrepreneurs I meet, they're either overscheduling, over responding, or under prioritizing, right? Because their decisions are reactive, not rooted. So let's talk about those two things. Clarity. You lack clarity on how you're actually supposed to lead the business. Maybe you need to revisit the vision that you started with. The vision behind why you actually came into the business. That is an opportunity that I see for you to revisit. This isn't a disadvantage. This is an opportunity for you to revisit the vision, the identity of the person that you are ascending into. Who is that person? And what are some of the things that you need to start shifting to articulate or to realign with that person? In the past week, we just finished the Wealthy and Resilient Summit, and one of the things we started to talk about, or most of the guest speakers talked about, was that identity piece of being, this is where I am right now. This is the place that I see myself, and then having understanding, having clarity on that, and moving with that decision of I don't want things to run as it has always been running. So if you see yourself, or if you find yourself constantly catching up, that is an opportunity. That is not a sign that you are behind. I think the first thing is for you to change that mindset of, okay, I'm behind. I want you to see it as an opportunity for a pivot, an opportunity for an ascension, for you to really refine on your vision, on the reason why you actually came into the business and what you're creating. Because if you're overscheduling, if you're over responding to everything, and you are on that prioritizing, it is because the decision is reactive, right? What you're doing in the business is based on reactivity. It's not based on alignment. It's not based on being rooted, being grounded in that vision. So clarity of your vision is so key, right? Another thing is that you might be living what I call the reactivity loop. You plan your week based on what's urgent, not what's strategic. Maybe on Monday you sit at your desk and you probably might have a plan, but then the plan that you have seems to be urgent, not what is long-term based and will serve the legacy that you are building. So I see this as an opportunity for us to ascend the identity, to ascend from that place, transcend and shift that identity. So we can only create from our own vision, our truest vision, right? So an opportunity, not a disadvantage. So reactivity loop. Are you creating from a place of urgency, what's urgent and not what's strategic? That's another opportunity. I see that as the number one reason why people feel busy, why you might feel busy but not advanced. Are you acting from a place of reactivity? And this is what we unpack in my framework when we talk about the Calmfident framework. I'm not sure if you've heard that before. If you are if maybe you're new in my world or you have been a little while in my world, you probably have heard me talk about the Calmfident blueprint. And the Calmfident blueprint starts with release. The very first step in release is about clearing the noise so that you can hear your own strategy again. I know some of the time we have come into business, and at this point in time where you are right now, the person I'm speaking to right now, you who is getting clients in the door, you are making money, the revenue's coming in, but you still feel like you're behind. It's not your fault. It's not because it's not an identifier of what you can do. It's about rerouting, if there's a word like that, rerouting yourself into the vision and getting deeper clear about why you actually here, like visiting that vision, visiting the reason once again, and releasing the noise. Because it seems like you have had this infiltration of different things coming from every other person, right? Maybe you started 2 years ago, and then along the line you've heard multiple suggestions, multiple strategies, marketing strategies, sales strategies, visibility strategies, and they have mixed in with the core vision. They have mixed in with your identity. They have mixed in with the way you actually want to lead the business. This is an opportunity to release the noise and come home again. Come home to that vision. So these are some of the hidden patterns behind that catch-up cycle. Not having clarity, you are under prioritizing, over responding, over scheduling, because you are reacting and you're not rooted in the core vision. And you probably might be living in that reactivity loop where your decision is not based on a long-term legacy level identity or a legacy level impact, but it's based on what's happening right now. And of course, I'm not saying that there are some decisions that we wouldn't have to make based on what is happening right now, but when that is becoming something constant and we are sacrificing that for the long-term legacy, then that is a call to ascend in our leadership of how we run the business, of how we grow our business, in the way we lead our business. That's a call to leadership, not necessarily a depletion of our identity or a depletion of our sense of a depletion of who we are and how we want to lead, right? So it's a call to ascension of our identity. Now let's talk about what is actually going on. The truth is that you don't have a time problem. I know a lot of people will tell you you got to be more productive, but if you are truly honest, you are probably one of the most productive in your group, right? If you are honest with yourself, you've probably tried multiple productivity hacks or productivity templates or productivity journaling, whatnot. You've tried it all. So that speaks to the fact that the problem is actually not a time problem. It's actually a decision problem. And I know this might seem funny, but it's kind of as simple as that. What decisions are because when decisions are not clean and aligned, everything is downstream. I'm going to say that again. When your decision is not clean and is not aligned, every other thing becomes something that goes downstream. Your time, your team, your tax, they start to feel blurry. I'm going to share with you something called the clean decision filter. Very shortly, I'm going to be just summarizing on it briefly. But before that, like if you find yourself catching up, right, it's because your decision is not clean enough. And every other thing starts to become blurry. And beyond decision, I'm talking about conviction. That's a deeper layer. A conviction in your identity, your conviction in what you're actually building, and now that makes an impact. So that's why your calendar right now ends up being the bus, or the things that seems to come up randomly ends up being the bus, and you end on Friday and it feels like you are still behind, right? So let's talk about the clean decision filter. And this is one very important way to get out of that reactivity loop. It's a framework I teach my clients inside my Calmfident CEO Accelerator, and it will help you decide faster and execute cleaner. So to make it simple, because simple is one of the things I love to do, I just gave it the acronym CLEAN. Yeah, like that's it. So I'm going to share it briefly. C stands for clarity. L stands for leverage. E stands for evidence. A stands for advantage. And then your next step. As simple as that. So let's go through it. Clarity. Does this idea, does what I'm about to do, does this thing align with my current business season or goals? Or is it just pulling me off track? That is the C. You need to be clear. Is this in alignment with that long-term vision? Is this alignment with the legacy I'm building? You need to be clear on that. If it's not, then it's a it's something that is going to draw you into the reactivity loop. Then L, leverage. Does it build on something I already have, or require starting from scratch? Right? Is it something that is building? Maybe you have a task, and we're talking about really setting those clean decision, making those clean decisions in our day-to-day. So whatever task that you're going to pull up, whatever task you want to work on, should be looked on from the lens of this decision filter, the clean decision filter. E stands for evidence. Do you have some signal, right? No matter what it is it even as small as it is, that your people need this, people that you are creating this legacy with and for. Yeah, I said with and for, because yes, you're creating legacy for, like the legacy belongs to you, right? You're creating it with somebody, with your clients, you're creating it with your family, your team members, and then you're creating it for your clients, and even for yourself, for family, for your grandkids, for what they say. So the people you're creating the legacy for, do you have signal that they need this? It can be a question, a comment, or even DM conversations, right? From family, from clients, from these people that you're creating the legacy with and for. And the A there is advantage. Does this highlight your unique brilliance or deepen your authority in the space? What you want to do, that task that you want to do in that day, does it deepen your authority? Does it align with your unique brilliance, or is it just noise? That's another question that you need to ask. This is the clean filter. And N is the next step. What is the next simple action that moves this forward within 24 hours? What is the next simple step that will move me to make this decision in the next 48 hours? I love to do this all the time. I personally am a multi-passionate. So when I come up with an idea and I feel, okay, this is in alignment, and I've gone through the clean filter, I've clarified that this is something that helps me in, the long-term vision, I have leverage. I know that I have a skill set to ensure that this happens. I have evidence that, oh my God, I've done this before. I can definitely pull it off. And then I've also understood my advantage, my unique way of doing things, my unique approach will support me in making this possible. Then what is the simplest task? That is the end, the next step. Let's get to the next step. What is the simplest task that I can achieve this in the next 48 hours? If you can think of a simple task that you can do in the next 48 hours to move it forward, then it is a task, or it is something that's going to pull you into a reactivity loop. And it's something to let go of quick. So that is the clean decision filter. Let me know in the comment section, like, what's coming up for you. Now that we have gone through this, here's something I want you to know about the clean decision filter. It's about, it's something that you need to ask yourself. 5 simple questions that you need to ask yourself before you commit to anything new, especially if you find yourself reacting to everything that's coming up for you. Right? Maybe you find yourself reacting to this thing, and then on Friday you're ended, oh my God, I cannot believe I've spent this all week. The client came in, but I still feel like I am behind. It's because you have things coming up that you did not take through the clean filter, right? So we just walked through it, right? Now, so that's how you start to lead your time instead of chasing it. And as a CEO, here's the thing. Your job isn't to do everything. It's to decide clearly and cleanly. And calm doesn't mean slow. Calm does not necessarily mean you've got to, you're slow paced only. Calm means clean, uncluttered, intentional, strategic. And when you operate from calm clarity, you stop chasing momentum and you create it. I'm going to say that again. When you operate from calm clarity, you find out that you immediately stop chasing momentum. You immediately end your week on Friday and you are calm, you are aligned, you know what you're doing. You feel like you've gotten something that actually moves the needle down at the end of the day. Right? So I just shared the clean filter, and we just talked about how you can leverage this. We also talked about some of the triggers. I told you that it's not about your time. You don't have a time problem. You actually have a decision problem. And this is what I work with in my one-on-one program, the Calmfident CEO Accelerator. We help you build this new operating rhythm where your week, your systems, and your schedule aligns with your next level of leadership. Where you stop trying to catch up because everything in the business now feels like, oh my God, it actually fits. This is supporting me. This is supporting the legacy that I'm building. And if you've been in business for a while, but your structure hasn't evolved to match that vision, the accelerator is your next obvious step. And I would love to invite you to a taste of the accelerator in my bootcamp, the Calmfident CEO Bootcamp. You probably can see it right now on your screen. So be sure to grab that link where I will go deep dive into this. And if you know that you are ready to get that support that allows you to ascend into your leadership rhythm, then definitely send me a DM, the word accelerator, and let's chat about how we can work together in accelerator. I am so excited to have brought this to you, and I just want to leave you with this 2 words. You don't need more hours. You don't need more hustle or more motivation. You just need cleaner decisions and calmer structures. And the moment you start leading from clarity, you'll notice that the catching up will stop and you can finally feel up. Like you feel like you are finally caught up with yourself. So you don't need to continuously be catching up. You can get the support. And I'm so excited to bring this to you. Thank you so much for joining. God bless. And I will see you in the next one.